We're with Dr. Papa Faal of the Gambia People's Advancement Party. So what gap in Gambian politics did you see that gap now aims to fill? What's missing in our politics that you believe only GPAP
Well, I'm
can
not
fill?
going to say only GPAP.
Okay.
Maybe one
Okay,
or
that
two.
GPAP seeks to fill.
Yeah, one or two political parties. I'll say integrity.
There's no integrity in our politics. Or,
Well, that it's not a lot.
okay.
What is integrity? Is doing the right thing when no one is looking. How many people will do the right thing when no one is looking? It's not a lot in our politics because most people will go to politics to enrich themselves.
That's
We
not,
see it.
That's not what Dr. Papa Faal is all about.
I say it. I am comfortable with the amount what I receive to sustain myself. I do not need to go into politics. My family and I are okay. But if I am okay and my neighbor is not okay, am I okay? I have only finite funds to be able to help those who are in need. So, what do? I live in a society that to every other person is hungry. Every other person is poor. Every other person is struggling to survive. If I am okay and those people are not okay, what do? If God gives me the means to be able to use my my knowledge to help him, I think it is incumbent upon myself to do that. Because like I said before, being a soldier, you put your life at risk for your nation. I put my life at risk for the United States because what? I always feel that service was important. I was a network engineer before I got into the military. Network engineers make nothing less than 70,000, 80,000 a year in the U.S. My last job, I was making $105,000 a year as a senior network engineer at a company called what is the name of the company again? It flew my head. But I could stay there and just work, but service is different. Service, you care about people. Service, you care about your nation. Going to war changes that for you. You know, you come back with a lot of problems, emotional problems, back problems, because you're having all this heavy stuff. As human beings, your body aches.
So you have back problems.
I have back problems. I have soldier problems. I have head problems. I have all these problems. Because if you're in a war environment, you always have six senses.
Okay, and you think on top of all those problems, you can also carry on the weight of political problems?
Because the best leaders were soldiers. The best leaders were soldiers. Why? It's because despite all that problems, you still focus on the mission.
Well, we had a soldier between 1994 and 2016.
Well, let me say, you have a soldier from Gambia. He was a lieutenant, yes. He has that training, yes. But they came in with grudges.
It's how they came in.
It's how they came in. What were they saying? These people, they're embezzling money. Their families are driving these cars.
Well, you just said that about the borough government.
But wait, well, let's. Yes, I didn't say that they're driving new cars.
No,
Did I say that?
The embezzlement bit.
Yes. The First Republic, they said, no, these people came through the coup.
Yes.
They said they were embezzlements. But when they did the
and I'm saying, when you started, you said the same thing about this borough government, that they're embezzling.
Yes. But then I know where you're going at that. Why did I endorse him? I already said that.
The lesser of two evils.
The lesser of two evils. What would you choose?
I'm simply saying, I see a correlation here. Maybe soldiers, when they come in, they always, accuse the Government did this
Well,
much
no,
of
I
embezzlement.
didn't. Yeah, but we all know that the Second Republic, I mean, the Yaya government was terribly embezzled. Man. They're embezzled. They were the chief embezzlers. Then Barrow comes in. How many millions? Did you know that when Barrow came 2018, our national debt servicing was 2.8.
2017. He
Yes.
won in 2016
Yes.
and was installed in 2017.
Exactly. Was 2.8 or so?
About what?
2.8 billion
Was
for
now-
our debt servicing.
Okay.
What is it today? They're talking about 13 billion. If you're talking about 13 billion, let's look at this. 13 billion, our revenue is about, the collection revenue is 23 billion or 24 billion. You take the debt servicing 13 billion, that leaves you 10 billions that you have to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened between 2018, where we have only 2 billion, to now, we're at 13 billion?
The Dalasi in 2017, 18 was probably half what it is today.
Yes,
and
but
that's
why?
what they're explaining. So we're paying twice, for the dollar in 2021.
One would say why? One would ask,
Depreciation of the Dalasi.
why would Dallas depreciate? It doesn't happen out of the blue.
What do you think?
Well, what makes currency strong is internal reliance. You are able to build your economy to a point that you don't need the dollar to go purchase outside. If you are able to build your internal structures, your internal economy, where to a point that you need few dollars to go outside, because it's supply and demand. For example, let's say Swami India. Swami, they're in the Gambia. They build houses. They sell houses. Let's say I buy a big building from Swami for 100 million. Swami is now going to take that money, that dalasi, and send it to India, would he? He will have to buy $1. You buy $1, and then you send that dollar out. The dollar price goes up. The competition goes up, because the demand for the dollar keeps rising. Because we don't have people who are we don't have people are importing more than what we are exporting. Some people will say you didn't export equilibrium. No, the point is the dollar is being people are competing to buy the dollar, and then those who are selling the dollar are increasing it.
Let's talk about your party motto, which is dignity, justice, compassion. What does it mean in practice?
Dignity, justice, and compassion is something that I have always believed in. For me, I look at our people, and I look at an undignified way of life or society. Why? It's because, one, we beg for money to survive. Two, we bring people in our tourism industry that is real, that they treat us like, I don't know. Three,
Who treats us? The tourists?
well,
They don't respect us?
do they?
I'm asking.
I don't think so. Go to the streets, go and see how things are. If you move from here and you go to Senegambia, you will see. Dignified is not like insulting someone, but looking down upon you and using you as a tool, exploiting you. That's what's going on in our tourist industry. Go at night, you will see. Every day, my heart aches when I travel on these streets right here, and I see in tourist industry how it is, how our people bow down, becoming a lesser.
So when you say the tourist industry, you mean the Senegambia Strip, what is generally referred to as the
Well,
Senegambia
the
Strip?
Senegambia Strip is representative of the whole entire country. It's just that people gather there. But the tourists, when they come, there is something else behind there, why they come. Did they come for our waters, our beaches? Or they come for our young kids? Huh? Somebody needs to ask that question. Now, the other thing is, as a nation, when you go outside of this country and you say, I am from Gambia, how would they treat you? Is our passport dignified enough that they will respect you? Once upon a time, Gambian's passport used to be one of the most valued.
It still is, according to the latest findings. In terms
according
of,
to the findings.
Yeah, you don't trust findings?
Do I? There are certain findings that
Do
I
you
will
trust findings, yes or no?
Some findings I will not trust. 75% of our young people are working in the farming industry. Do you see that? Do you see our young people working in the farming industry? 75% of them. Or 50% of them, 60% of them.
If that's a statistic ascribed to the Gambia, that's a flawed statistic.
Well, let's go and look. It's a fraud statistics.
Yeah, 75% of Gambian youth in the agriculture industry.
The 6% inflation. 6% inflation in the international study. It's a good inflation standard. Our Gambians, the purchasing power of a Gambian today, right, compared to yesterday, does that make any sense? See, you can have the statistics, but you have to shift through it and find out whether the reality makes sense. What is written and what is on the ground, whether it makes sense. I say it doesn't make any sense. Sometimes we write these reports for investors.
Okay.
Now, dignity.
Yes,
I want to bring
exactly.
dignity
Because
back into our country.
One, we spoke about, the depreciating dollar, making the dollar very expensive, and then tourism.
Yeah,
well,
and then just we bring back dignity for our people. So when we go outside of this country, we can hold our head high. That we are Gambian, we are proud. Right. Justice. We want a just society. Our social justice, judicial, all those things we need to correct, because I don't see justice going on here socially. Go into the renting industry. People are struggling to get rentals that is affordable. People are struggling for medical supplies, medical treatments. These are social justice. These are society has a right to those things. These are social justice. When the courts delay a hearing or judgment 3 years, that is not justice, because they always say justice delayed is justice denied. Yes. And then at the end of the day, you see maybe it falls apart because money movements and all those things. You see, justice, it's not right. Compassion, you have justice, you have to have compassion. We have to be compassionate to our people. Compassion just doesn't look like I look at this young guy and then I give them money. No. I want to feel what he's feeling. I want him to feel what I am feeling. I'll be compassionate enough to say, your living standard I care about, I want to provide for you so you can be able to go to have a good medical, we can build our medical system. When you go, you don't only get paracetamol. Every time you see people, just yesterday, 2 days ago, one of my party members' son got into an issue. They went to the hospital. They wrote everything to go to the pharmacy to buy. There is no medicine in the hospitals. What do we call that? What do we call a hospital that does not have medicine? You need drips. They tell you go buy drips. If you go to the hospital, you are sick, or you take your son or daughter or grandmother to the hospital, the last thing you want to think about is, where am I going to get the money to go run around and buy drips? Or you get paracetamol. What does paracetamol give you? You came with pain. Maybe the pain is so severe that you need narcotics to knock you out so you can be able to sleep. So if the government is not thinking, if the government is thinking that the structures, the infrastructure is more important than my well-being, there's a problem there. We're not going to eat roads, and roads does not make me well. I can have a sand road that I can drive on to go to the hospital so long as there are medications and tools at the hospital. That is compassion. You be compassionate to be able to provide for your people so they don't suffer. That is compassion. It's not only a word of just to say, just a word. It's not that.
Okay. Tell us about the party colors and symbols. You have millet stalks and groundnuts.
Groundnuts.
At a time when everybody is saying we need to diversify our agriculture away from groundnuts, because even the groundnut we sell, what you hear is that the main country, that buys it, China, uses it to feed, animals, not even for human consumption.
Yeah,
that's what you hear. So why groundnuts? We should be moving away from groundnuts, shouldn't we?
Well,
but first of all, what's the idea behind the millet stalks and groundnuts?
Millet is grain. No, I don't know what they call it for in Wolof, but millet is one of the foundation for making bread and all those healthy food, isn't it? Then you have groundnut. We don't have to take our groundnut to sell it out.
We don't have to?
No, we don't.
What do we do with it?
Once upon a time we have GPMB.
Yes.
Once upon a time we have Saro. Right?
Well, Saro is still there.
Saro is still there,
yes.
Sure, but GPMB
is gone. But it has a replacement.
It has
the National Food Security and Production Management.
The name is long. We cannot produce a thing. But why can't we just take that and process our groundnut, make groundnut oil from that? We import oil, and import oil that is not good for us. This trans fat oil is making us sick. It's clogging our arteries. It's making us suffer internally. We can buy groundnut from our farmers and process it into oil. Groundnut oil today, when you go to the United States, is more expensive than canola oil. So do you think that if we have GPMB, GPMB comes back, we'll have employment. GPMB comes back, we will be able to buy our groundnuts. We process it. You make dege out of it. You get oil out of it that is healthy. Our people eat healthy food and oil. They use healthy oil, and then they export the rest. If you want,
and we reduce our need for dollars.
For dollars, we have to use exactly. If we complain about food being expensive, let's look at the dollar in the first place. So rice. Jack Ali Pachar, this is what I'm saying, that we don't have to wait for investors. Because you go to the World Investors Forum or something, and you said, we have this fertile land, but then process your own stuff. So you don't have to import a lot. Once upon a time, I went to the provinces in 2021. People used to tell me that when the rice, they will have rice supply, free rice supply for a whole entire year. Free. That was the First Republic. Free rice for whole entire year. Why can't we have that now? Because we are too sophisticated. Sometimes sophisticated thinking. When you think sophisticatedly, you miss the point. You have to bring yourself down a little bit and find out what works based on your capabilities. If I want to build a high-rise and I only have a house, I have money for a bungalow or whatever, what would I do? Should I wait until I have money to build a high-rise and I'm in need of somewhere to live? Nyantambunga, I can build Nyantambunga. If I have money, then I can build another house. So we work with what we have. The government is looking for investors into these industries, and it is destroying our economy. We have to be able to do things for ourselves. And I think we can.
So it took you 3 years, at least 3 years, to get the party registered. What were the challenges?
Registering a party is not an easy thing. The biggest problem...
Some people have registered parties in a much shorter period.
Well, for us, we had to do several revisions. We had to do, I think we have about 5 revisions with our to get our constitution right, getting our structures right, getting the signatures right, and raising $1 million. See,
oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. You got in while it was.
I got in just about this much.
While it was still 1 million.
Yes. 1 million is. I always tell my guys, dude, 1 million is not $1. See that?
Yeah, not at all.
It's a lot of money, and raising it is not an easy thing, especially when you're raising it from your
where?
own sweat.
Oh, from your own sweat?
Yes.
Not through contributions or what? You raised the entire $1 million.
I did.
From savings?
From my sweat.
Doing what? Bricklaying?
Hard work.
Such as
self-reliance with the blessings of God. You work. If you want something badly, you work for it.
So raising the $1 million probably was the biggest of the challenges you faced. What other challenges did you have to contend
I think,
with?
to be honest, getting the 10,000 signatures was enormous, but we were able to tackle that early, and where any changes that needed to happen, we did that early, and then we worked on the constitution. We wrote our own constitution, because sometimes you see people cut and paste constitutions. We don't do that. If you want to see a constitution that is cut and paste, just copy and paste it in Google, you will see. If you copy our constitution and paste it in Google, you will not see.
You will see nothing.
No. We wrote our own constitution, and that takes time. And once you do that, the last step is the raising of $1 million, and that took time. So
you partly answered this question before, but in greater detail, what distinguishes the GPAP from other political parties in the Gambia?
GPAP, I learned a lot from 2021. I learned a lot, honestly, from 2021.
About what? Trust or
about
what?
Integrity, about trust, about A&B for the nation, the intention for the country, and really having a solid vision. You can say you want to start a political party, but do you have the solid vision when you get there, you are gonna hit the ground running? We wrote our whole entire manifesto in 2021, and we handed out to a lot of people. I don't know if you got a copy, but
I didn't.
You didn't get a copy. But some.
Is it the same manifesto, or
we changed it?
You've modernized.
I've changed it.
Okay.
Because conditions at that time and now are different.
Yes.
But that is our foundation. We will build. We build on that, and we will continue to build on that. And I think that we can be able to do something like that. And I think one of our flagship. We have 5 points. Quickly, I don't know how much time I have.
You have a good 20-24 minutes.
Well, there you go. There you go. If you don't mind, I can tell you what makes us a bit different.
Sure.